Dr. Kamel bin Naceur from the International Energy Agency joins me now. And of course we look at these outlooks, we look at the outlooks OPEC, IEA and IEF. How important is it that you actually all work so closely and bring these collective outlooks together in this symposium?
The IEA has been doing these outlooks for almost 3 decades now, looking at scenarios for the future. These are not forecasts, but they are different outlooks corresponding to different sets of conditions. So, and we had different organizations doing them. What was extremely important is that we had this dialogue between the organization, one, to make sure that we were using the same assumptions, or we had comparable assumptions, then we were able to compare what those scenarios were telling us. So this has been going on now for 7 years, and the IEA has certainly contributed a lot to this dialogue that is spearheaded by the IEF.
And again, combining OPEC in this as well too. Again, so this must be for the analyst community, for the academic community, for the business community, for the companies, producers and consumers. Who is the main almost consumer for this outlook?
So we want to address different types of audiences. The first one are our governments, because they need to understand what are the different options going forward in terms of energy markets. That's the first one, and the IEA works with our own member countries, the OECD member countries, but we also work with the new countries like China and what we call the association countries. The second type of audience are the business sector, which has to justify economic investments in the energy sector, so they need to have a visibility on what is coming ahead. The third one is the general public, and the general public wants to know what are the options forward. So all these are different audiences, and we have obviously also the researchers and the different universities and that we discuss with.
And indeed, this is now we've looked at many of these symposium that have been done, and we've looked at many of the reports. So year after year, do you find that there's more of a convergence of attitude and there's more of a convergence of numbers, or there's still a little difference, which can be very healthy? I think people need a little bit of both. But where are you finding as the years go by, year by year, in terms of doing these reports and outlooks?
So what we're finding out is that once we have established the base, it's much easier to compare the outlooks, and we have had this convergence. We still have a few differences, and we are working to resolve them.
Now, of course, tremendous attendance here in Riyadh at the International Energy Headquarters. We're looking here at the International Energy Forum headquarters, of course. But we're also looking here at the people that have come from really around the world here. This is very much an international focus, and a lot of the analysts, we're seeing a lot of people here from the US. Of course, the energy dilemma is a global one right now. So are you encouraged that really we are seeing such a diverse audience that have come here to actually examine this and take part in the conversation and the symposium?
No, it has been a very rich dialogue in terms of interventions, in terms of questions from the participants. We have had participants from the governments, through ministers, through ambassadors. We have also had representation from the business sector. We have had international organizations like the United Nations. So it has been a very comprehensive representation, and certainly a very strong one this year.